Hello everybody, today we are going to learn how to draw a lighthouse on our rectangular piece of paper and then start to think about any designs that we want to incorporate onto our lighthouse to make it look more realistic. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to need is a nice tall rectangular piece of paper. I am using a piece of paper that is 9.5 inches by 4.5 inches. If you don't have a piece of paper like this already in front of you or ready to go, here's a suggestion of how you can make one. So you want to start with a piece of white construction paper, and if you have maybe an assorted construction paper pack that is about 9 by 12, that's what one of these are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this paper into thirds. So first I start landscape with my paper, not portrait. So with my landscape paper, I am going to fold one side over, and so that when I make this folded over section, this width right here is equal to the width that we create over here. So now I have two matching rectangles. You see that? This is the one I want to use for my lighthouse. So after I make the right amount of fold, I'm going to crease it really well, open it up, and I'm going to go ahead and cut right on that crease line. I'm not even going to worry about the edge of this, if it's nice and neat or not. This I'm saving for later. I might need it for another project. Okay, so I've got my nice rectangle now. Here's what we do next. Find a pencil. If you have a ruler or any kind of straight edge, that would be great. You don't need the ruler for the measurements, you just need it for the straight edge. So any hard piece of cardboard or tag board or something nice and stiff would work really well. Take your paper, put your finger up here at the top so that one side of your finger is along the edge of the paper, and at the very top of the paper, make a little mark with your pencil. You see that right there? Let's do the exact same thing on the other side. Finger lined up with the edge of the paper, make a little mark, and now the top of your paper should look like this. Great. Now, where that straight edge comes into play, you are going to line up the straight edge with the mark at the top and the corner at the bottom. So you've made a real skinny looking icicle. When you draw the line from the mark at the top down to the corner and you finish, it should look like this. For me personally, it's easier for me to flip over the paper to do the next side. So same idea, I would line up from the mark to the corner. So I'm making a conical shape. It's smaller at one end and bigger at another. That's called conical. Okay, or tapered at the top. Now we've got our lighthouse. All right, ready? Big decisions we have to make. How are we gonna design our lighthouse? What are we gonna put on it? What do you want it to look like? So the finished product of this project is going to be a lighthouse on a nice rocky shore. I haven't done the top of this lighthouse yet, but here's an example. I got windows. I have some light coming out of one window and not in another. Inside of a lighthouse is a spiral staircase, and so there's different floors. So there's a floor there, and then the stairs continue up to where the very top would be in the lantern. So let's look at some examples. I could have a completely plain lighthouse. We are gonna make a little house at the bottom. This is a good example of what our finished project is gonna look like right here, without the trees. Same idea, plain, no design on the lighthouse, but got some windows, and it's colored. Or, this is a lighthouse that's out in the water in Lake Michigan in Chicago. Lots of windows on this one. Or we've got some fancy lighthouses right here. These are for inspiration for you. You don't have to copy one of these, but you could certainly design your own to look any way you like. You could put some stairs at the bottom with a door. You know, I drew a rectangle and then another rectangle around it for the door frame. Some stripes. This one, it's that diamond idea. So what I did to make a diamond is I went down the middle of the lighthouse with some markings, and then I did just 2 lines, and then I found the middle of some areas and just made some diamonds that way. And you can kind of play with your ideas of your designs. This is an easy striped one. Did the rectangle with the rectangle around for the frame of the door and the windows, and then I put some lines on there to show that it's reflective glass. So it's a nice little illustration trick that you can use. So now you decide what you're gonna do for your lighthouse. Once you have designed your lighthouse, you are going to use your oil pastels to color in your design. If for some reason you have something really small that you do not want to color in with oil pastel because you're afraid it's going to mess it up, use your colored pencils. If you don't want to use oil pastel at all and just want to use your colored pencils, go ahead and do that. I would stray away from the marker because it's going to not look so great, but it's going to be completely your choice. If you feel like marker is going to be the best choice for what you're doing, go ahead and do it. Don't use paint though. This paper is too thin for paint. All right, so that is it. That's how you make your lighthouse, but how you design it is completely up to you. It can be a completely unrealistic looking lighthouse too. Very artsy, whatever you like. And I hope you have fun. Enjoy making your lighthouse.